Greetings, my dear DuckTales fanatics, and we're back again with yet another DuckTales episode analysis video. And even though not much happened within this one, it's time we crash right into this. Roll the intro clip. So to start off with this episode, we're presented with the legend of the duck known as Cornelius Kuhn, who single-handedly managed to overtake the forces of the Beagle Boys' family. You know, the same family who attempt to try and steal the supposed golden armory of Cornelius after discovering Webby's plan to uncover the mystery, which ended up being something that not even Della Duck herself was capable of unfolding. The strange part was that Webby was able to find this out by snooping through Della's old adventure journal, something that I'm guessing Scrooge must have stored away until Della had returned, and so her belongings were now given back to her. And it would be a logical prediction considering how Scrooge had even somehow encouraged the mail lady services never to deliver Della's mail anymore after her disappearance. Or well, my bad, it was mailman according to Webby.
One time, a piece of junk mail with her name on it showed up at our door. A day later, Scrooge bought the post office and I never saw our mailman again.
I guess as of right now, the current mail lady actually used to have a different job because she was the bus driver inside the third episode of DuckTales. Also, according to Webby from the fourth episode, the only file on Della that she was able to recover was a photo of her from Dewey, never a book of any sort, records, or anything. Now back to the legend known as Cornelius Kuhn. If you believe that this statue seems familiar, you may be thinking about the actual one located in Disneyland. But more specifically, I'm referring to Mickey's Toontown Fair, and yes, it's mainly a callback to the original DuckTales statue of Cornelius. Webby's goal for this adventure was to solve the mystery behind the location of Cornelius Coot's golden armory, something that the legend mentions as the main reasoning behind the Beagle Boys' downfall and Cornelius' victory in becoming the founder of Youngberg. And by the way, is it just me, or is this another show that has the founder of a specific land introduce corn as the main nutrition? But anyways, this founder was such a farmer that he uses his own farm tools to guide people down his secret passageways. Now, while all of this is going on, Della has to use the sun chase in order to create a giant sea in the sky to commemorate Cornelius' victory. And also mainly because Scrooge is so strict with his pricing that people refuse to pay for the full name.
Just to see, Uncle Scrooge charges by the letter.
However, before Della can do anything, she has to first help Launchpad repair the plane after crashing for possibly the 267th time. And it's a returning gimmick that Della has to get used to after being replaced by him for some time. Plus, as entirely strange as it may sound, despite Della's advanced knowledge of mechanical repair, Launchpad uses gum for most parts and it still managed to perform better that way. And I don't know what type of gum he uses, but I don't think it's Mighty Putty. I have no idea how it works, but that is cartoon logic and I'm gonna keep going. I mean, it was basically for the convenience of the plot, and I guess taught Della to have much more faith in Launchpad.
And you have your own way of doing things that is unique and special. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone, and oh boy, I should really apologize to Launchpad.
Also, you can't crash an entire plane into Cornelius' tunnel for even more plot convenience without Launchpad so that Della can save Webby and the gang from the Beagle Boys' revenge scheme. Because after some time, Webby and the rest find Cornelius' stash, but it's not gold, just golden corn. The whole freaking time. However, because of Launchpad's miraculous save, Webby finds her way back into the hideout and realizes Coot's secret. Though it wasn't treasure necessarily, the unpopped corn was what he used for making it seem as if an army of golden soldiers were surrounding his enemies. But nope, the Beagles were so dumb that they didn't even catch his bluff. So yeah, that just about explains their idiocy to this very day.
Y'all forgot me at the junkyard. I chased you here. Must not have heard me yelling to slow down, 'cause you rolled the windows up.
All around me are familiar faces.
And that's pretty much the summary of the episode, but the main plot was about Webby comparing herself to Della, stating that Della had accomplished much more mystery findings by Webby's age. And now I understand that it bothers Webby, but let me just put it to this perspective. I feel like if it wasn't for the fact that Della had already solved most of the other adventures before them, she probably would have found more. I mean, as we remember, Della had adventured just about everywhere on planet Earth, which was why she decided to fly into outer space in the first place. And going back to season 1 of DuckTales, let's let's be real, Miss Beakley even made it nearly impossible for Webby to go out on adventures until Donald brought the boys along. But once again, with all that being said, this was pretty much a great episode, especially since we've noticed the similarities between Webby and Della for some time now. And yeah, that is basically my analysis for this episode. I'm sorry it wasn't much, but it was still something worth mentioning in a way. And I just wanted to thank you all for participating in today's video. The next ones seem to be much more significant to the finale, so be prepared. So as usual, I will see you till then, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!